Then out for 45 minutes, they did everything humanly possible not to engage them because they were juveniles. They took gunfire.
Taking fire from a 12 and 14-year-old for nearly an hour. A short time ago, Sheriff Mike Chitwood said responding deputies did all they could to bring a peaceful end to an impossible situation. Tonight, we're getting a look at new video showing those harrowing moments and getting more insight into a system that Sheriff Chitwood says allowed this all to happen in the first place. WESH 2 News has team coverage.
We begin with WESH 2's Claire Metz, who just heard from Sheriff Chitwood about the situation and the things he says desperately need to change. Claire?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, first and foremost, the 14-year-old girl, she is in critical condition, but she is stable. She was transferred to Arnold Palmer in Orlando for more critical care there. And the 12-year-old involved with this violent interaction with deputies, according to the sheriff, is in juvenile detention. Both children have been in and out of foster care, according to the sheriff, after they were removed from families that just couldn't handle them.
How is a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old so full of hate?
Shooting out the rear window toward my direction. Stand by.
The 12-year-old boy with the 14-year-old girl allegedly broke into a home, found weapons including an AK-47 and a shotgun, and used them against sheriff's deputies. The 14-year-old was wounded by return fire, but the 12-year-old not hurt, and investigators spoke with him.
He said he fired the shotgun a couple of times and also fired the handgun at deputies. He told detectives he knew they were cops when he shot at them because he wanted to harm them.
Hey guys, just hold behind hard cover. Let's not shoot these kids.
Deputies had to dodge bullets, hide behind trees or patrol cars as the two children fired at them. Sheriff Chitwood says the 14-year-old girl told the 12-year-old she was going to roll this down like GTA, the video game Grand Theft Auto. Yet deputies were loath to return fire, knowing who they were up against. A whispered prayer from one.
Don't make me do this. Don't do this. Shots fired again. Female now has a pistol. Juvenile male has a long gun, so does the female. Stand by.
She's pointing the gun. Pointing the gun behind the trash can. Behind the trash can.
Investigators say as the 14-year-old repeatedly pointed her shotgun at deputies, they fired back, then raced to secure the 12-year-old, give medical help to the 14-year-old. The 12-year-old does not have a previous criminal history, but the girl was arrested in 2018 for stealing a dog, seen on surveillance video, and then again this past April for setting a series of fires in Palm Coast that briefly threatened homes and burned a fence.
But nobody comes to work to shoot and kill anybody. We certainly don't come to work to get into gunfights with 12 and 14-year-olds.
Back live now, the sheriff says the children fired at least 24 rounds at his deputies, 8 deputies ultimately returning fire. FDLE is investigating this shooting, so of course those deputies are on leave and will be counseled. The sheriff says handling something like this is very tough. Many of these deputies parents themselves. And the sheriff also talking tough about the juvenile justice system. He says it is broken, and right now there are few answers. We're live in Volusia County. Claire Metz, WESH 2 News.